It's a new charity shop haul. Ahoy everybody, and welcome to another charity shop haul video. It's Sunday the 20th of January as I record this, and yesterday and Friday I hit some local charity shops and they came good. On Friday I went to the local shops in Leon Solent, and first up I went to Oxfam, and they must have had somebody come in fairly recently with a donation who has similar taste in music as me. That's what I was trying to say. Because I've managed to get 9 CDs from them, plus an album I picked up. So I'll show you those first. So first up, we have The Best of James. James are a band who I like, but not enough to want to get their albums, but happy to get a best of them. Seems a bit top heavy. First 4 tracks, Come Home, Sit Down, She's a Star and Laid. They're probably the only tracks on there whose titles I recognise, so it might be a case of diminishing returns on that, but looking forward to giving it a listen. This is Vanessa Paradis' self-titled album from 1992. This is an album produced by Lenny Kravitz, who she was dating at the time. Track 4, Must Be My Baby, is a fantastic song, so I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of it. This is George Michael's Faith. I picked up a few. I picked up Patience and one of the other George Michael albums back in November. So with this, it means I've only got Listen Without Prejudice left. Outside. Was it Outside? It'll be on there. Yeah, so having got this, it's only Listen Without Prejudice that I need to get to be complete on George Michael's solo career. So I'm sure I'll find that at some point. On an earlier video in the comments, a discussion was started about Suede with A.G. Partridge, Alan, and he kindly sent me a little compilation that he burned because I said that I quite liked them, but I didn't really know that much of their stuff. I'd never really got into them. He sent me the CD and I enjoyed it. As I said to him, my problem is Brett Anderson's voice. It doesn't quite sit right in my ears, but I like their songs. But as I said to him then, I'll probably end up picking up their stuff. And I managed to get a couple in this haul, so I picked them up. So this is Head Music. This must be an American copy, because as you can see, it's credited to the London Suede, which they had to be called in the US for legal reasons, because there was another band called Suede. This one is from 1999. She's in Fashions on it. Electricities was also a big single. I'll probably recognise a couple of the others when I play it. And then also they had A New Morning in a slipcase, which is nice. This is from 2002. None of the tracks are leaping out. It's a limited edition. Features 2 bonus tracks, includes access to an alternate version of the complete album. I don't know if that will still be valid, but it'll be interesting if it is. Another best of. This one is If the Beatles Had Read Hunter, the singles by The Wonder Stuff. Another band I like, their hits, but I don't really know much more than that, so this will be interesting. Welcome to the Cheap Seats is a brilliant song. Size of a Cow is just one of the best songs of the early 90s. Was it early 90s or late 80s, whenever it was? It's got their version of Dizzy with Vic Reeves on here. It's probably... yeah, I think that's the only tracks that instantly I recognise. But it'll be interesting, as I say, to hear more. Another greatest hits. It's U2's best of the second half from 1990 to 2000, and this is the version with the B-sides CD as well. U2 are a band I never understood why they're so big. One day I'm going to do a bands I don't really get video, and U2 will be one of them. I like a lot of their songs, but I don't see why they're the biggest band on the planet. I think Live Aid put me off them. But anyway, yeah, so this has got the hits from 1990 to 2000, and then lots of B-sides from that era, including some remixes of some of the hits, so should be interesting. And then the last two I picked up in there are a couple of Ash CDs. I've got their greatest hits, I've got their last album, I did an unboxing, I've got it on vinyl and CD all signed. Band I do really like, but never got round to picking up their stuff. This is their debut album, 1977. So Goldfinger, Girl from Mars, Kung Fu, Oh Yeah, Angel Interceptor. I know originally this had a hidden track that you had to rewind from the start, I think, to hear. I'm just assuming this will still have it. I don't think there's any way of telling just by looking, so I won't bother. And the second one of theirs I got was Trailer, which is from 1994, so this probably... when was... oh, that's confused me, because 1977 and 1996. So this must have been an independent release before? I don't know, I have to research that. Jack Names the Planets is familiar. That's all that's leaping to mind. But yes, looking forward to that. And then I picked up in there also the Not the 9 O'Clock News album from 1980. Yeah, it's from 1980. So it's highlights from the series from 1979 and 1980. It was 99p, but we're having half price on vinyl, so this cost me 50p. The lady couldn't work out what half of 99p was, so I just called it 50. Although most places would charge 49. It's on BBC Records. A couple of little dinks, but nothing major. And I say for 49p. Well, I'm going to leave that behind. A couple of the other charity shops in Lee were a washout. One of them didn't look like it had anything new in since... in fact, both of them really didn't look like they'd had anything new in since I went back in November. But then the other one was a Rowan's Hospice, which I know I didn't go in last time, and I can't decide if it's new and it wasn't there, or whether it was shut on the day I went. But this is... I'm happy with this. This is £1.50, and this is Theme from the Persuaders by John Barry. It's basically a compilation of all his themes. I mean, I love John Barry's work anyway, and especially his Bond work. But this has got the Theme from Persuaders, Midnight Cowboy, which is a brilliant soundtrack, Goldfinger, the Danny Scipio theme from Vendetta, which doesn't spring to mind, but I'll probably recognise, 007, which was his theme he wrote originally from Russia with Love, and then appeared in most of the Bond films he scored. The Girl with the Sun in Her Hair, which doesn't say what it is, I don't think it's from a film. It's credited to John Barry and Don Black, so it's obviously a song rather than an instrumental. Then side 2 is the theme to On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which is my favourite soundtrack ever. Vendetta from Vendetta, which again I'll probably recognise. Thunderball, The Chase from the film The Chase, not familiar with, might recognise it. From Russia with Love, and the Bond theme, which interestingly on here is credited to John Barry, not Monty Norman. Naughty naughty. But yes, as I say, £1.50, original inner sleeve. Well, I presume it's original, it's all about Tony Bennett, but I presume it is the original one. It's on the CBS. Well, on the label, it's credited to Monty Norman. I couldn't spot anything wrong with it. It needs a clean. It's dusty, but yeah, I couldn't spot anything wrong with that, so that should be good. So yes, that was Friday in Lee, and then yesterday I went to... oh, sleeve needs gluing, but that's not the end of the world. Saturday I went into Gosport, primarily to go to my new favourite record shop, A Slice of Vinyl, and I'll do a separate video on that because I spent a lot of money in there. But I also hit the charity shops, and I had a couple of cracking buys. Overall I got 4 CDs and 2 vinyl, and I'm trying to remember what I got where. Those two... yeah, most of the There's about 6 charity shops in Gosport. One of them is a coffee shop that also is a charity shop. It's a charity coffee shop. And they've got vinyl and CDs and everything, but they're sort of against the wall behind the coffee tables, and there was somebody sat drinking right where all the music was, so I couldn't go in and have a look because I had to ask him to move, and that's not on. But first one I went to was... I've got the receipts. A load of receipts in here. I think one of them was for these. Sally Army, Salvation Army. I picked up 2 CDs and then some vinyl I'm really happy with. So I went through CD racks and I picked up Honey to the Bee by Billy, aka Billy Piper. Honey to the Bee itself, the song, is one of the greatest pop songs ever written, in my opinion. I'm not sure if this is a greatest hits or this is the album. I think this is the album, but it starts with Because We Want To, and it's got Girlfriend. Yeah, it must be the album. Honey to the Bee's on it as well, obviously. I think Billy was underrated as a singer, and I've made no bones of the fact that I adore Billy Piper. So, yeah, looking forward to that. And then this is for Ting Tings. This is We Started Nothing, their first album, which has got That's Not My Name on it and Shut Up and Let Me Go, which are 2 brilliant songs. So, looking forward to giving that a spin. And I went and paid for them, and they were 2 for £1, so that cost me £1. And then as he was ringing them up, the guy on the counter, I sort of glanced behind him, and up against the wall they had this album, because the albums they had with the CDs and what have you, there was nothing. They had a double vinyl original soundtrack of Jesus Christ Superstar the movie, which, as I've mentioned in previous videos, I love Jesus Christ Superstar, and I would have picked it up. First disc was fine, went to the second disc, first side was fine, flipped it over, massive mark right across it. It looked, rather than a scratch, it looked almost like a glue mark, so it might have come off, but I didn't want to risk it. It's not like I haven't got versions of Jesus Christ Superstar. Well, I've got 2 vinyl and a CD, plus 2 DVDs, or a DVD and a Blu-ray. But yes, anyway, I glanced behind and I saw this on the wall, and it was a no-brainer. This is Rockin' at the Roundhouse by Bert Weedon, signed by Bert Weedon, for $3.99. Now, if you don't know who Bert is, he's most famous for his Play in a Day, originally a book, and then in later years it was filmed and put on VHS. And it was a tutorial for people learning to play the guitar. I had the VHS that taught me some of my limited guitar ability, but famously Brian May, Hank Marvin, possibly George Harrison, but lots of the sort of 60s and 70s guitarists cited Bert Weedon and he's Playing a Day as what helped them learn the guitar. So yeah, really happy to have this. It looked, didn't bother even checking it because I was mainly buying it for the autograph. But the vinyl looks fine. It's on Musical Rendezvous Presents Contour, which is a label I'm not familiar with. I'm guessing it's a live recording, Rockin' at the Roundhouse. It's from 1970. There's sort of marks on it, but nothing that looks like it's going to affect playing. But as I say, mainly I got it for the autograph. So yeah, really happy with that. And then the other shop that came good was the British Heart Foundation, which is normally good. And I got a vinyl and 2 CDs there. The vinyl was I'm a Writer Not a Fighter by Gilbert O'Sullivan. I recently got his most recent compilation and then his new album, which I got signed from him. Very much like him. I was sort of aware of him, but he was a regular on one of a series of Says Les Dawson's show, and I was watching a DVD of that, and he was on every week, and I discovered that I did really like his singing and his songwriting. So happy to pick this up for £1 with sleeves. Knackered, but again it just needs gluing. But it's got the original lyric sheet, It's in a polylined sleeve, presumably the original, looks like it. It's on MAM Records. And again, the vinyl looks fine. It's dusty. Looks like it's a house with either a cat or a dog, because there's a couple of stray hairs on there that look animal rather than human. But a good clean should sort that out. So yeah, happy to pick that up for £1. When I went in the record shop after this, he actually had that in one of his bins, so it would have cost me £3 if I bought it there. So yeah, that was, for the sake of a bit of glue, that was a good saving. And then a couple of CDs, both of which I'm really happy to get for different reasons. This is Paula Abdul's Spellbound album. The reason I wanted this is that it's got the track U on it, so that's the letter U, which was written by Prince. So that's another one from my Prince collection. I'm glad to finally have. Didn't check, I presume it's got the right CD in it. Yes, it has. And then this one, both of these CDs were 99p. This is Feelings, Together We Were Made. She's got Set My World on Fire on it. I'm not familiar with the track, but Leave Me Out of It's got Sophie Ellis-Bextor on it, so that's good. None of the other titles are leaping out at me, but I might know the songs. But the reason this was a huge bargain is that it's signed. So I was saying 99p, I'm guessing they didn't realise it was signed. But it's definitely... yeah, it's definitely real signatures, definitely not printed. So yeah, really happy with that. Yep, so that was my haul in the charity shops recently. As I say, from there I went on to a Slice of Vinyl record shop, and there'll be a separate video showing you what I bought there. But thank you for watching, like, subscribe, comment, all that sort of stuff, and I'll see you on another video. Thanks, bye.